Hello there, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back, one and all. It is now time for the next game of the day. It is going to be Instinct versus In Motion. So, Ranks, walk us through what's going on right now.
Well, one team is moving forward slowly, because thus they are in motion, and the other one is just acting on the first thoughts that come to their head. As you can see, that is all of the clear insight that I currently have.
Wait. Yes, looking at the bans right now, Wukong getting banned out bloody immediately. So, it looks like they don't want any kind of solo lane shenanigans, and considering that the amount of people who are on Instinct, the amount of experience they have, that makes sense. You know, we're looking at people like Game Hunter, Wolf of Elo Street, Moex. You know, that's not too much of a surprise.
Yeah, it's obviously just not too much of a surprise, but obviously, hey, a few things coming through. The amount of bans that have been thrown to the jungle, that's what's really surprising me more than anything. Sun Wukong, just naturally too strong. And I mean, he can play in the jungle, so I'm going to count 4 as the jungle ban, just that we have 4 jungle bans, but no, it's 3 in 1. First pick, Hell is open. The reason you don't want to first pick Hell is because you can get the immediate counter pick of Odin, but In Motion with this round of picks are in the perfect spot to grab Hell and Odin at the same time.
So right now we are going to be seeing... I don't know. We're seeing hovers over for Yanis, and that is going to be a lock in there immediately. They want that mobility, which is funny considering they banned out 2 very mobile gods. Maybe they don't want Motion to have any part of that at all.
Yeah, I mean,
they...
maybe. I mean, it could be. It could very easily be a plan as a part of this draft. I'm actually interested to see what the first real folk pickups start to come through. Neith and Capri. See, for me, Hell is here and in this draft, and it just seems really, really weird that she hasn't even been touched yet.
Yeah. Oh, we are going to be seeing very quick pickups there of the Bellona and the Athena. Looks like Motion had a little bit of time to discuss there, but they went straight into that, so they're going to have a pretty nice solo jungle support split, considering that both of those characters can, in theory, do all 3. And Team Instinct are going to be firing back with their duo lane composition of the Neith and the Capri. Although I shouldn't say that necessarily. Neith potentially could go in solo.
Yeah, I mean, Neith, we've in the Australian scene where I'm from, we actually saw some Capri in the solo as well. And I think he's actually being played. A few people have been messing around with him just in the jungle prior to some of his nerfs, but now I actually see him being a lot more of a support, less of in the side lanes or anywhere that isn't support. So, be interesting to see what the pickup is here. I actually do expect it, obviously, over to support in this meta. In this draft, because Neith's on the board. It's just like wave clear, get Neith ahead. You can roam, you can get some really nice picks and whatnot, and the reset. But the other good thing about the Capri pickup into the Isis is that you can actually nullify a lot of Isis's early pressure as soon as you start to rotate.
Yeah, it's like, oh, hey, she's doing a lot of damage, and have some protections. Oh, she's going to try and dunk you with her ultimate, and nope. You've just revived. But considering this is post-nerf Capri, executions will go through the Scarab's Blessing. So we'll have to keep an eye on if In Motion decide to pick up, say, Thanatos as their jungle. Yeah. That's on the table. So Al Kwang is off the table because he was banned out as their second ban. We are seeing these third bans coming through. It was the Hell and the Hun Bats. And Apollo is actually going to be laid out for In Motion. So that's their duo lane draft, in theory, fully complete. Let's see how Team Instinct actually retort. I imagine the jungle's going to be coming up next.
I would also imagine that their jungle should be coming through about next. Given that... jungle and solo lane potentially are all that's left open. Be interesting to see actually what they go with here, because the comp thus far doesn't have huge amounts of engage. They do have a really, really nice dropship, but they need something like, ooh, there we go, Guan Yu and a Bastet to follow it up with. Alright, I really like this, because there's a lot of kill potential on the right-hand side of the map.
Yo, dog, I heard you like animals, so we're going to put a cat with a horse and a bug. And that kind of mobility, because, you know, Guan has the horse, Bastet can leap over walls, they have Kepri. Well, Kepri's not too mobile, I mean, he has the hug bug dash, but that gets him a little way. The big thing is the Yanis portal. That's a lot of mobility on a single team. In Motion have a similar amount. They have the Apollo, the Athena, and the Bellona who can also jump over walls with their ultimate. A lot of that kind of thing is really being emphasized in this draft. In the last 2 drafts, actually, over today. And Fenrir is going to exemplify that even more.
Yeah, I agree with it. Fenrir is just like, jump on, put aggression down. And I mean, that just seems to be the name of the game at the moment. Guan Yu certainly screams that, Neith screams that, and Kepri, well, you go a little bit to him and he's going to save the life. So I actually expect that we're going to be coming through with a very, very aggressive game once again. And after the last game, I'm down for some more blood-pounding, heart-pumping action.
And so with that, that is going to be the full drafts done. The only other thing I can really add is here, you mentioned about the early game. Pre-5, In Motion have a lot of potential shenanigans they can do, but on the other hand, Team Instinct have that Bastet Neath combo, so if Fenrir wants to try and do something with his jumps, he's going to get hit, but a lot of damage over time is going to consider him to do something else, because most Fenrirs, unless he's going for that weird Inuki build back in the day where you level your Seething Howl first, are going to be leveling either the Unchained or the Brutalize first. So not a lot of sustain coming out on the Fenrir in massive amounts, so things like Bastet's Bleed, like Nice, World Weaver, and her... oh god, I'm having a brain blank. What's the name of the one? It's literally on the tip of my tongue. Spirit Arrow! There we go!
Spirit Arrow, yeah.
Spirit Arrow. Once that comes online in a big way, Fenrir's going to have a lot of issues.
Yeah, I mean, obviously gap closing, but, I mean, the other option that he does have available to him is that Ragnarok, and he can just run straight through it. Spirit Arrow means nothing to him then.
Yeah.
Anyway,
and so
well,
with yeah, we should
you can go ahead and take us out, Verb.
So yes, we're going to go bugger off for a little while. We let the anti-ghosting timer countdown kick in. Don't go anywhere, ladies and gentlemen. We are back shortly with the second game of today's EU Challenger Cup, round of 32. Okay, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back, one and all. Game Hunter finally installed on your Ethernet cable. He is back in now. Unfortunately, there was a slight game pause as he wasn't able to connect. Now he's in, and we can continue. This is going to be Instinct versus Emotion. Mysterious, over the air, over my ear. Production person, tell me, is this round of 32?
This is round of 32. I don't even need our invisible production guy to tell us this. He actually told us prior to the game over last week. Clearly, you weren't listening.
I'm sorry. I was drinking water and I wasn't listening. I was listening to fat tunes. I'm sorry.
Dim fat beats. But have a look at the early wall that's been placed down here. I'm gonna only assume by Game Hunter, and that's probably why they were waiting for him. He's gone a long way forward, and now Bellona is dancing all over that wall. Good job, Bellona.
I don't believe they actually know about that ward placement, so the Wacky Waving Purple 2-man is going to be doing his job right now in spades, giving Instinct enough information to be able to go, hey, we can either farm safely or we could go for invade. I mean, they have the comp for it. Bastet Guan Yu with Talu Assault Whip could do work, but they decide, no, that's a Bellona Fenrir, let's play it safe.
Can we confirm for chat that there was actually no alcoholic particulates in that water that you were drinking?
Can neither confirm nor deny, but I may or may not be under the age to drink, so, no.
Okay, there you go. It's too early to be drinking, and you're under the age, so...
Yes.
Basically, 2 reasons, chat. There we go. We have it confirmed. He was not on any illicit substances whatsoever. He was on probably one of the most toxic substances known to man. Known to drown small children. It is dihydrogen monoxide.
Whoa!
There you go.
He might be drowning in a bit of salt right now, potentially. He just took a lot of poke there from Swedish and Warlock.
Glad you're focusing on the game.
I want to know illicit substances now.
I mean, yeah,
yes.
he's obviously got to be a little bit aggressive in this game, and look to try and make some plays happen, and they do have the slightly better early game as well. You know, Athena can't actually dash around at level 2, especially leveling Confound and obviously the shield wall as well. Means that, wave clear not quite as high from her, she's just got shield wall for wave clear, but now that she's hit level 3, she's a lot more wave clear just with the preemptive strikes, dash through the minions, throw the reach out. And she can also engage, or disengage, and get around. That's basically what level 3 brings to the Athena. And until then, he can be a little bit more aggressive. He obviously took a lot of poke for it, so it didn't pay off in the long run.
Yeah. So right now, over in the solo lane though, Game Hunter and Bloody Pride both going at it, but right now Game Hunter is being pushed onto tower right now, even with the Tower Assault into the charge combination. Bellona has just so much potential wave clear, and Guan Yu doesn't have a natural way pre-5 of stopping the bludgeon. And if there was, say, a Hades, you could silence it out, but unfortunately Guan doesn't possess that. And it looks like Banana Thrower might be looking for a gank here, because most camps are down right now, so what can he really do?
Yeah, really looking at the left-hand side of this mid lane, trying to get in here. Level 5 on Corino, so he will have that anti-CC. He's actually being jumped over. A lot of damage dropped on towards him. He will get out with the through space in time. Can't get through CC'd in the middle of the cast of that one, and will manage to live, albeit with such a small portion of his health bar remaining.
That has got a sting, considering he's red-potted up, he's got level 2 on both the Unchained and the Brutalize, and has just picked up Ragnarok at level 5, and it still wasn't enough damage to finish off Corino in time. Admittedly, yes, he's got the Vampiric Shell for the extra 100 health. That 100 health saved him there. Gave him enough time to channel. So that's got a sting.
I really would have liked to, especially if he's just going to use the Brutalize to engage, and not actually use it for gap close and not use it for damage directly, then I really would have preferred to see him put a point into Seething Hell, because that power buff may have been enough. I mean, 10 power at level 1, that's still 10 power, right? It may have been enough to make Brutalize and that one auto attack he landed actually form into a kill. So that's something you can think about, actually, in the back of your mind. Is like, what am I going to be utilizing the skills for? It's a little bit, you know, you're going to be leveling Brutalize at some point eventually anyway, but it's something just to keep in the back of your mind if you want that successful gank.
Yeah. One thing that was raised up, I believe, by DM Brand on one of his coaching streams was the point of AA countering, how important it is with people like Fenrir. That extra 50 damage or so with the red pot, that would have probably given him the kill into Corino in First Blood, but unfortunately they're just going to have to resign themselves to splitting the mid-harpies for both teams, and things are just kind of going to stalemate out to the standard farm fest until either team decides, hey, I'm going to gank you now.
Well, it was also the wave they got to shove in, so they did get a little bit of an XP and gold advantage. Not huge, but just enough. And then the splitting camps as well. They really want to be fighting over these because Giannis just doesn't have the damage that Anisis does at this early stage. And look at the right-hand side of things, looking for the blue buff invade.
And I believe he actually stole that from the steal, so that's a counter-steal. Nice use of the Wobby to do a little bit of damage, but gets the extra protections off the Ragnarok. There's the gap closer, like you mentioned, Ryan. Game Hunter taking a good bit of damage. Up comes the horse. It's absolute chaos. It's multiple rotations from Instinct. Down comes the Bellona flag, planting her territory. Here's the Cowhide. He needs the help as well. Game Hunter's applied with the Scarab's Blessing. They're going to be able to back off there. No harm, no foul. I feel with both of these teams having such heavy defensive comps with things like damage reductions, revives, taunts, we're possibly going to be seeing that kind of just no contest pretty damn frequently.
Yeah, that was pretty damn lucky for him to get out of there, though. Teleport now picked up for both of our Solinans. Picked up and used.
Banana Thrower. Oh, he just gets the heal in time. He almost got executed by Jungle Camp.
What the hell is going on in this game? Anyway, importantly, Bloody Pride almost turned that one around with the teleport. And, you know, he's just based off and they were looking for the pressure on towards the right-hand side, so he must have been able to call that he had it, and just a really, really nice counter-engaging kind of setup. Look at the itemization, though, coming through from him. Mark of the Vanguard, all damage taken is reduced by 5. Because of the way Taolu Assault is constantly applying damage, Mark of the Vanguard, perfect counter to it, especially with how good Bluestone is on this patch.
Yeah, Bluestone, it's going to have to at least... I'd expect a change at some point. I don't have any inside knowledge personally, but a lot of people have commented that it does need a change at some point. That's the reason why Wukong Solo is so powerful right now, why you see him being removed a lot in the banning stage pretty bloody quickly. And let's actually have a look at the player damage right now in House Shide and MTarget. Please bring up the player damage graphs. We can see that coming into effect here, as even though... Actually, no, it's actually the opposite of that. Unfortunately, the Bluestone is only allowing Game Hunter to come forth.
Oh, Mark of the Vanguard.
Straight
down to Mark of the Vanguard, just because Bloody Pride has then been able to turn it back around and throw hammers around at multiple people when on the return part of that gank. And obviously that his opposite number, and Game Hunter wasn't quite able to hit as many people with the Tower Assault as he really wanted, nor the Cavalry Charge either. He was kind of like, oh, I'm really, really low, I gotta keep running, I gotta use my abilities to kind of cycle out here. It allowed Bologna, when she came back in, to get that up as high, as well as your standard solo lane boxing.
Engage in the middle. Nice block of the World Weaver there. There's the use of the Spirit Gun to actually do a good bit of damage to Banana Throw. Ninja Bob out though, picking up the kill to Turbo. That's first blood of the game. Farino trying to get away here, pops down the transitions, nice use of the Scarab's Blessing. Athena ult will not kill because they back away just in time to not proc the extra health gain. Nice use of the Hug Bug grab. That's going to be a second kill under the belt of Instinct's jungler. Carino gets in with a very nicely spot, but down to the God of Music to try and assist. Moek picks up Fenrir. No, sir, this is not your dog day. Also, I sincerely apologize for saying Spirit Gun.
Instinct able to turn that one around, and that's a 4v5 as well. That's a 4v5. Their Hunter, sure, rotated over, also used the World Weaver to get a part of that, but Guan Yu never left lane. Game Hunter was not a part of that, and they were able to successfully win that fight, take a solo lane tower, and not die, get first blood, 2 more kills, not die. They're in a really, really nice spot.
Yeah. So right now, looking at the way things are going, Rank, we are seeing some of the more evident itemization changes coming out now. We're seeing that Turb is going to be going for the uncommon sash. I imagine that's going to be Warlocks. Although we could see maybe Rodovus Sclephius coming out to, if you want to say, do some sort of cheese regeneration strat, because healing is pretty big in this matter.
Cheese. That's super cheese.
That's one thing a lot of people haven't considered. Rodovus Sclephius on non-healer characters to enhance lifesteal by 50%, because it affects lifesteal as well, alongside healing.
I mean, the Circle Protections is there as well from Tupto, but maybe a Gem of Isolation, actually? The amount of times that Isis actually procs that's another possibility in there. So there's 3 separate possibilities. The third one's the ethereal stuff, and you won't be buying that as your first health item. So it won't be
if you want something quickly without stacking, maybe, but it's low shots.
Yeah. It's kind of super risky. It's kind of like, given the fact that the reason you go Soul Eater is, oh yeah, I want something that I don't need to stack that gives me attack speed, lifesteal, power, and protections, and health. Yeah, that's a good item. Ethereal stuff's kinda not that. The payoff from your base health pool is not really all that large. The other thing is, you don't really get all that much power out of it. And it's not huge,
Warlock.
but look at that.
He's gonna get away? No, he gets dunked on by 4 members of Instinct. Unfortunately, Hugh is not Rockstar in this case, Hugh is dead. But hang on, Game Hunter having a little bit of argy-bargy over in the right there with Bloody Pride and Banana Thrower. Game Hunter has been... he's pretty much set up camp in lane. Like, you can see the campfire there, he's got some food, he's got the hat repair station for fights, and he's got a decent farm advantage over Bloody Pride by about a level or so. Although the level just ticked up there. He needs to start
700 gold as well. And 700 gold. So he's sitting very itemized really well. But look at the ultimate. Athena ultimate into the middle lane. They don't actually save off the Isis. Ninja Bobat's a long way forward. Won't actually get grabbed up by the Fenrir. And his brutalized. Only 1 leap. Won't go through. Oh, space and time. Almost the snipe. Almost the snipe for Corino, but not so today.
Duo lane though. Moex charging under the tower. Picking up Sweetish there. Just actually have a look at the item changes. I am very surprised that Swedish died there. He had superior lifesteal to Moex. I wasn't watching that fight, unfortunately. Even as we see Athena getting dragged again, this feels a little like deja vu from literally 30 seconds ago. But as I was saying, the fact that the Transcendence gives you a decent damage spike early, it's not really a damage item, it's a mana item. But it does give you that nice chunk of damage early on. I mean, there's no denying it. It does have damage on it. Not having the lifesteal, in theory, would have made you lose that fight, considering it's an Apollo with attack speed steroid in his passive. He's got a lot of ways to get around auto attacks, but somehow Moex managed to win out of that fight. I'm gonna guess it was because of the Unravel, because he's leveling that second. He's able to do the attack speed debuff and heal.
Yeah, and there's also the fact that the mana, the increase from Transcendence from base mana is actually really, really strong. It's so strong in the early game because you get all this power coming through from your base mana pool. And the stacks, he's at 1700. I'm going to say he was about 1700 when that kill went through, because he's now level 13 and 1787 maximum. From the passive on it, he's receiving 3%, so 3 times 17, 34, 51.
Ooh, mass on stream. That's mass on screen. That's ballsy.
51.
You never know. You could get him up. Is that correct?
He's receiving 51 bonus power from the passive of the Transcendence.
In before chat corrects you. But yes, that's a good bit of power to have on an item, and looks like over in duo, gank onto Mox, tries to back up but doesn't get it. He is going to be able to get away though. Nice use the Unchained to come around. Rotation is coming from Instinct very quickly thanks to this Starship deploy from the through space and time. Banana Thrower though gets dropped through a portal, it's going to break his mechanical legs and get hit by Karina for the final kill. There's the double with a nice use of the Slow of Deep Claw from Bastet. Ninja Bobat with a nice use of that. He's going to pick up the double kill. And Game Hunter, though, trying to distract him the golfer. He gets popped by the Circle of Protection. Tubda picking that up. But in comes the killing squad of Instinct. He's going to pick up Bloody Pride. That is going to be a 3-for-1 trade in favor of Instinct. And they're going to capitalize on the golfer potentially. Although Tubda is up. He doesn't have his ultimate. Ninja Bobat, though, taking a decent bit of damage here, Rank. He's got to be careful.
Yeah, he's got to back up a little bit and has done successfully. He's trying to stay away as well because Tubdub's here. Swedish gonna get grabbed immediately, beats out. Won't Spirit Area of the face as well. Gold Fury will go to Team Instinct, but now they might go for the re-engage. They get on towards Mo. Mo's still got a sliver of health. The dash forward, the moves. No, there's a portal in the, in the way, and it is going to be Swedish that falls away.
Apparently there's something in the way of your throat as well. Ba-da-ba-ba-da-ba. Hey. But yes. Looking at that fight,
Where do you come up with these sound effects? Where do you bring them from? I love them. Is this standard velocity?
I get them. I am allowed to deprecate my co-caster if possible. I will take that chance. If I
love it. Personally, I'm a big fan. I'm a fan. Verbulosity, why aren't you in so you think you can cast so I can vote for you?
Yeah, I prefer being here. Challenge is a lot more fun. I can cast for you. But yes, coming back to the match, we are seeing the Solia is being built by Moex. And his counterpart, though, went with the Demo Glove, so yes, Swedish is going to have the extra damage, but at the same time, the effective 20% health increase, the effective health, that is a 20% increase of effective health by Moex, for some reason I gave you an aneurysm, might allow him to tank through even more 1-versus-1 engagements.
Better keep an eye on the map as well, because everyone's starting to rotate around and really look for those big plays at this point in time. Ninja Bobat coming towards the right-hand side. He gets on towards Bloody Pride. There's going to be a Neath ultimate as well. Great Eagles rally, but it still hasn't hit him. World Weaver Collapse is in, and Bojack grabs himself another kill, but now look at the mid lane. Carino is in a little bit of trouble, but the blue team's there to help.
Nice hug bug pull there, but immediately gets grabbed by a Fender. Circle Protection wasn't fully charged there. Tubda, though, gets absolutely eviscerated with Wolf of Elo Street picking up the kill credit there. It supports these kills, you know, Jeff Hinder likes to preach that, even supports these kills occasionally. And with that, Instinct 12-1 here, gold and XP currently stands at 9.7k XP and 6.9k gold, almost 7k. They're looking to take the first tower of the game, second tower of the game, I should say.
Yeah, and they're pushing down quite effectively as well. They should just pick up the Gold Fury, 12-1, the kill score. It's actually putting them at 10.5k experience ahead at the 15-minute mark, 7.5k gold. So they're actually in a significantly advantageous spot at this point in time. Athena goes through the portal, taking a lot of damage. She's going to get grabbed and pulled back towards the team. She's almost certainly dead. No, she gets the preemptive strike away. And Brutalize as well, not quite able to land on. Looking for the re-engage, though. Bloody Pride did some nice damage there.
Yeah, getting the extra stacking damage off of hitting multiple people during the circle swing and then on the back swing doing more damage. That, for those of you that don't know, bludgeon, you do more damage as you're circling, then more damage on the downswing. And the re-engagement, though, Carino forced to pop through space in time to get away. Bloody Pride extremely low, but so is Bastet. Ninja Bot is going to get away, and Wolf of the Street for the fourth time getting grabbed by Fenrir here. That's not advisable, considering it's Kepri, and in comes the Wolf Weaver. Nice block by Tubda. Noex was not seen, but nice block anyway. Game Hunter, though, picking up Bloody Pride. Yeah,
and now he's going to grab himself Tubda up as well. They're going to turn around, just start beating on the Athena. Everyone else is dead, so why the heck not? Trying to throw her incredibly well on the backside as well. They're just going to die this tower. Grab her up. Yep, Moex with another one. Killing spree indeed. Thank you, announcer. Whichever announcer pack our good old spectator is running. And they're going to grab another tower as well. Look at the advantages. They've only lost one death this entire time. Guess who's died? It's good old Game Hunter.
It looks like that stay in lane and just push strategy, yes, it's given him a tower, but what have they really done with it? I mean, it's just sat there, and he's not been able to help his team out too much in terms of the rotations. The ward coverage is there by instinct. They've got sentry wards all over the bloody shop. But unfortunately, they haven't really been able to make too much of that. Most fighting has been done pretty evidently in the lanes in team fights. So
yeah, I mean, the wards haven't really hugely impacted anything of this. They've actually spotted out rotations towards the right-hand side of the map, which we did see that massive team fight earlier, and that one Gold Fury fight. But other than that, it's not been too much else. It's just sort of been minor ganks and whatnot. I don't think the ward coverage has actually influenced this game as much as it potentially could have. But with Gold Fury coming up here in a few more minutes, that's going to be the next point of contention, and I really want to pitch this one to you, Verbalocity. Who do you think has got this next fight?
Next fight? Instinct have that massive level advantage, and in theory that's going to give them the edge, but at the same time, Emotion have such good teamfight presence with the Fenrir, with the Circle of Protection, and with the Bologna Stun and the Athena Torn. If they can just deploy it properly and on the correct people, if they can get Carino somehow away from the Kepri Blessing to take him out, or ideally, even if they just get rid of Kepri in the first place, without biting him with Fenrir, of course, they could take that team fight. But looks like Game Hunter here, he's pushing extremely hard. Does he think he's like Guan Cena or something?
Well, Chad certainly has an idea that he might be.
Yeah, I mean, his time may be now, but unfortunately he is still a man, and, well, God is a man, and he could be killed.
Back camp's being taken on the right-hand side as well for Emotion. Just trying to clear the waves. They really want to buy themselves some time to get some items online and whatnot. It's kind of funny here, because the early game from the side of Fenrir Isis kind of goes in the way of Emotion Esports as well, but later on they do have some absolutely fantastic circles to fight within. They need to set up the wombo combo first, but they're looking for the World Weaver on it, Turped Up. Well, forget the circles, they're all dead.
Yeah, that is gonna be one dead bird. Turped Up, I see, he's got level 2 beats. He's got the Warlocks. Unfortunately, he hasn't got enough time to actually stack it. Maybe that Ethereal stat pickup wasn't such a bad idea after all.
Even the Gem of Isolation would have been a nice idea for his team. Buys them some nice space. They can kite back very effectively. But now, look on the right-hand side, just tanking up the tower, they really don't care. And in Motion Esports, it's a split push to come out of Swedish. If this does not work for them, if they fall here, and they lose a Phoenix, they lose the Fire Giant, that's game. They've got no way back in then.
Yeah, we do see the push coming out of Instinct grouped up at the same time. Apollo do as Apollo do. Swedish is pushing. There's the teleport, though, coming out of Game Hunter. Immediately rotating over, and he's looking for the Apollo. Nice use of the Mez there to avoid any kind of shenanigans from the Tylo Assault. He's going to be able to walk away just fine and dandy. But let's take a reference at the Golden XP here. It's slowly been climbing in favor of Instinct. They've got the gold advantage, they've got the level advantage. What should they do here, in your opinion, Rank, to try and capitalize on this? Because the longer they stall, the longer they give Emotion to try and come back from this.
Yeah, and items is the key thing, right? Is like, you give your opponent items right now, they don't really have a lot of those items. Polly's even bypassed a secondary item to get straight on towards that execution, get some crit online. You needed that penetration, had to go that route early. Right, so what they need to be doing right now is looking to ward up around this Fire Giant. They've gotten a lot of the pressure down on towards the map. They need to keep Game Hunter in the left-hand side of the map, just to make sure that Apollo can't split push at any stage, and then pressure on the Fire Giant. They can look for a baited fight. They're very happy, very capable of doing that, even with 4 members. So, right now, ward coverage in and around the Fire Giant's side of the map, prepping up over there. Game Hunter's teleport, obviously 60 seconds away, so sticking with the team until that one comes back up. But Swedish, he hasn't had to burn his ult. They can split push right now from in motion.
Yeah. In motion, they are aware of this Fire Giant. Actually, were they aware? No, they weren't. No, I got the team colors wrong. Backwards, excuse me. They had no real motion that was happening. They had the ward on the right, but looks like it wasn't enough. Bloody Pride not able to intercept, and with that, Instinct are going to take this advantage and try and capitalize it in such a massive way, they may look for the end of the game here.
Yep, down goes the shell, looking to give them some bonus protections to start getting on towards this Phoenix. It's already half out. They might look for the re-engage here, though. Ragnarok's down. Banana Throw is just forced to run away. He might look for the bite. He does get the bite on a Bobat, but Bobat jumps away. Solo from Banana. Thrower gonna live. Warlock Pain as well, but they get the stun onto Turped Up. Immediate beads. He's getting out of there.
They're going to be looking for the second Phoenix. Potentially, no, Game Hunter just wants to have a bit of a warm-up there for things. He comes to Bologna, though. Immediate use of the portal is going to drop him through, do some decent damage. Bologna locked onto Moex, trying to use the Frostbound Hammer to take him out before he can do any shenanigans with AoE attacks. And Bully Pride going to get sent home crying as he gets taken down to almost dead under the Phoenix, their own Phoenix at that. Nice use of the Scarab Blessing, Ninja Bobat going to be forced to retreat out of there though. Game Hunter taking a decent bit of damage from the Phoenix. Phoenix damage is slowly but surely scaling. Moex picks up the first kill of this fight onto Swedish. That Phoenix is going to drop as well, and now Instinct may look to finish the game. Or go for a
Turped up really, really low. And the crucial part about that, and fight, Turped up will live, never mind. But it may not be the same there for Banana Thrower. The crucial part, all those major ultimates were burned. Ice Assault, gone. Fenrir ult, gone. Actually, I think the Athena ult was still safe, but Swedish also needed to get up into his ultimate and use it for a little bit of damage, get a nice backline mez off, and then maybe dash backwards a little bit, buy himself some, just sort of like bait some skill shots in his direction, then immediately dash away by jumping into the middle of a team fight. But his ultimate, when you're behind, you have to use it a bit more aggressively, and then use the moves instantaneously, especially in your base. You're so close to home. You're so much more safe in your base than you are on any section of the map. But look at the dive once again.
I think that notion may be proved wrong, possibly, as Instinct are going through Phoenix into Titan. The look for kills, Ninja Boat going to be picking up Warlock as Moex picks up Bloody Pride for a rampage. Phoenix is going to drop Instinct, putting on a clinic here, and finishing a game sub 30 minutes. And Banana Throw.
Just look at Banana Throw though in this Fenrir.
Yeah.
He never ever got into this game. Look at his score, 0-4-0. Not a single kill, assist, anything to his name. To be fair, his teammates are all the same. Very nice play from Team Instinct. Very clean, very concise, never overextending too far. But then again, they had Wolf of Elo Street on Capri. So it's like, well, they got low enough where there might have been some kills a couple times, but Capri just keeps that the KDA a lot more in check.
Yeah, that's why you see Capri banned out so much, and that is a bit of a problem right now. This was recently suggested on the latest episode of Really, I believe. For those of you that watched that, it's a podcast with F.NY and Kret, Eagakret. Is picks and bans 90% of the game here? I want to pose that question to you, Rank, because considering they had to ban out Saket, Healers,
and no.
And the Capri got through, how much could they have really done?
They needed to build a little bit more of a composition. They just went all out ballsy against the Capri. That was their major problem. But it's a MOBA. Any sort of MOBA, you're going to have issues immediately from the get-go if you don't plan your draft correctly. But that, in itself, is something that comes from the style of game that a MOBA is. You need to choose correctly. You don't get in the game, unlike more RTS styles, see what your opponents are up to, and then immediately plan a counter strategy to that. You know, you can't do that once you're in-game. Well, you can do somewhat of it with the itemization build routes, the way that you cast your spells, the movements around the map, those sorts of things. But it is part and parcel with playing a MOBA is the drafting phase. Incorrectly planning that, well, you're throwing half the game. You've got to know how to be a pro team and to get all the way through the Challenger Cup like this is, to get to the SPL, you need to know how to draft. You can't come this far and go, oh, we're just going to draft this, or what's our plan? When do we need to draft what? What's a priority pick? What has to come first? You need to know that. Part of it is just by naturally playing the game, naturally playing some ranked games, naturally scrimming against opponents. And the other part of it comes from knowing your team's picks, your specific composition that you want to run, and making sure, no matter what, that there's some synergy between the gods that you select. Didn't happen here, and that's a large part of the reason in motion esports are not moving forwards.
Yeah, Instinct, they do have veteranized players coming into the Challenger Cup here, so they have experience with the drafting. They know the meta right now, or at least I hope they do, and they see the Capri open, they snatch him immediately. And with that, that is going to be the game going towards them. Arguably, because of the Capri, a couple of key moments there were decided because of quick rotations, and then immediately with the Scarab's Blessing saving people. 4 people went deathless in that game. 4 people on Instinct. That is a pretty big statement.
I think an even bigger statement is only one of them wasn't in range of Capri to ult. Regardless, ladies and gentlemen, that is the second game from the round of 32. Let's move it along. We'll be back hopefully with a round of 16 game in just a couple of minutes. We might have to do another round of 32 just depending upon where the results are currently, but all the same, we are actually going to be moving forward into the round of 16. There you go, production. It's a good reason to have production in your ear. Thanks, Mom.
But yes, we're going to bugger off now. We're going to let the picks and bands get all sorted out, the games get sorted out. We'll leave you with some music. I'm going to go have a drink. Be right back shortly, ladies and gentlemen.